How did deforestation, privatisation and land ownership impact the events leading up to the English Civil War? For decades, enclosures had been increasing in England. This is where royal forests get sold to private investors. And in 1625, Charles I becomes king. And by 1629, he starts ruling without parliament. And he needs to get money somehow. And he does this by selling royal forests. And this causes a frenzy. The big issue of selling the royal forest, it took the land out of common use. This means that normal people couldn't use the land. And a lot of people depend on their livelihoods to use the royal forests and their lands. And also many people lived on them as well and lived around them. And this meant they basically couldn't feed themselves, couldn't feed their family, and they were desperate. And many miners' livelihoods, especially in the Forest of Dean, depended on the royal forests to mine ore. Between 1626 and 1632, you've got several riots and uprisings against the enclosures, and this is known as the Western Rising. And a big thing with this, it wasn't coordinated, but it happened in several areas, such as the Forest of Dean, Breydon Forest, and Gillingham Forest. Gillingham Forest is on the Wiltshire-Dorset border. During the unrests, compensation was given to tenants and landowners. However, people who occupied the land illegally were not allowed compensation and was not given compensation. On the years building up to the English Civil War and after the English Civil War, Oliver Cromwell continued the enclosure policy, and the Forest of Dean was very important in the English Civil War because of its ironworks, and unrest continued in the Forest of Dean and Breydon, and this was a big thing. However, enclosures and basically unrest over enclosures started to tail away at the start of the 18th century. And a big issue of all these enclosures happening and people being forced off farmland is it led to more people claiming poor relief.